All right, so today we are diving into something really interesting. It's this piece of poetry that honestly feels like a collision between a science textbook and a love letter. I mean, it is just packed with molecules and metaphors, and we are going to break it all down.
So, right from the very first line, you know we're not in traditional territory here. This is not your rose by any other name kind of poem. Not at all. It's modern, it's digital, and it's kind of jarring in a great way. The poem frames love not as some smooth-flowing river, but as a glitch. Think about that. A sudden, unexpected interruption in the whole system.
And that really brings us to our first big idea here. Section 1, a perfume of static. The whole relationship is defined by these, intangible, almost electrical sensations.
Yeah, this line right here, it just perfectly captures the core feeling. I mean, think about it. A perfume, that's sensory, it's intimate, right? But static, that's interference, it's noise. And then dream, that's totally ethereal, unreal. So this isn't a love that you can just, hold in your hands. It's something you experience on a completely different frequency.
And you'll notice the poet completely avoids labels like boyfriend or partner. Instead, we get these beautifully strange physical reactions, like the air folds inward when you speak. Wow, it's describing an emotional impact using the language of physics. I mean, it's a feeling so powerful it literally warps the space around them. How cool is that?
So this whole idea of physics kind of builds into our next theme, Section 2, Love as a Science. This is all about how the poem consistently frames love and connection through this really precise, almost objective lens of science.
I mean, just look at this line. It takes a moment of pure emotional potential. You know that super fragile space between what if and oh, it's too late? And it drops it right into a scientific framework. All of a sudden, it's not just a feeling anymore. It becomes this specific point in some theoretical dimension.
Okay, so obviously we're not talking about actual, literal quantum mechanics here. Let's be clear. In the poem, quantum space is just this incredible metaphor for a relationship that hasn't been defined yet. It's that place where every single possibility exists all at the same time, which, let's be honest, is both super thrilling and absolutely terrifying.
And this isn't just a one-off thing either. The poem builds this whole scientific vocabulary for love. We get physics with quantum space, we get biology with amino chains, and we even get geology with tectonic drift. It's like the poet is saying these feelings are just as fundamental, just as real as the laws that govern the entire universe.
But, and this is a big but, all this scientific language doesn't mean everything is orderly and calm. Oh no. In fact, it leads us right into our third theme, storms in zero gravity. We're talking about a relationship that is chaotic, totally uncontrollable, a cosmic event.
We don't kiss, we collide. Wow, this is such a powerful rejection of gentle romance, isn't it? A kiss is a choice, it's controlled. But a collision? That's a force of nature. It's inevitable, it's powerful, and yeah, it can even be destructive. This isn't tender, it's elemental.
And you see this tension literally everywhere in the poem. On one side, you've got hints of symmetry, this hidden order. But on the other, you have total chaos, a math I forget willingly, a falling house made out of sand. The entire relationship just exists in this perfect, totally unstable balance between design and collapse.
And the identities of the two people themselves? They're just as stark. You have one person who is an eclipse, this huge cosmic event that literally blocks out the light. And the other? A splinter, something small, sharp, broken. So the point is, they're not two halves of a whole. They're two completely distinct, powerful, and very, very different forces.
So, okay, if this connection is so chaotic and elemental, how in the world do you even talk about it? Well, that brings us right to our fourth section, when the alphabet fails. This is all about the absolute breakdown of normal language.
This line is amazing. The poem just straight up admits it. Traditional words have failed. The alphabet failed us. Language just breaks down under the sheer weight of this feeling. So what do? You have to replace it with something more primal, more physical, a dance.
And the poem actually walks us through this breakdown, step by step. First, there's an attempt to merge poetry and science, right? I write Shakespeare and amino chains. Then, that's not enough. So language gets deconstructed into these ancient symbols, these hieroglyphs. When even that isn't enough, it just abandons words completely, for pure physical expression.
And all of this brings us to our final section, beautifully misaligned. This is where all those different threads, the science, the chaos, the failure of language, they all come together to finally tell us what this love actually is.
Okay, this line right here, this is the turning point. The poem just declares it. This connection is not a choice. It's something way more fundamental than that. It's the sound behind the voice. You know, like the vibration that creates a sound in the first place? It's that essential frequency that exists before any words are even formed. It's a pure force of nature. And what's so fascinating is that the poem ultimately defines this relationship by telling us everything it's not. It's not about being lovers. It's not divine. No. What it is something imperfect and disruptive. A crack in every map. I love that. It doesn't help you find your way. It shows you exactly where the known world breaks apart.
So, what's the big takeaway from all this? Well, the poem is presenting a love that finds its beauty not in perfect harmony, but in dynamic imperfection. This isn't about finding your soulmate, your other half. No, it's about two separate celestial bodies, two planets maybe, caught in the same powerful, chaotic, and beautiful orbit.
And so, that leaves us with this one final, really provocative thought. By rejecting all the simple labels and the easy answers, the poem really forces us to look at our own definitions, doesn't it? So I'll leave you with this. If love isn't a simple choice, then what is it? A glitch? A collision? Or maybe just something beautifully, perfectly misaligned?